So the full gameplay trailer for Sektor has finally dropped, and we also got the Kombat Kast, which kind of gives us more details about all the goodies that we are now here to discuss. So I'm going to break down all the new reveals that we got from the trailer and Kombat Kast, along with all the Easter eggs that you might have missed. So let's get to it. So first up we have is new stages that were teased. We have 4 new stages that were possibly teased, and shout out to Ice Cream, the Thinny, multiple Twitter people out there that are able to kind of aggregate this information for me to collect and share with you. So shout out to all those guys because they do an awesome job of being able to have a keen eye on what's going on and be able to document it. So I really appreciate those guys. So again, 4 new stages were teased, and it was noticed in the character match select screen, and it was in the screenshots between Sektor and Tanya. And while no official names have been revealed, or at least some of them non-official, user Ice Cream on Twitter basically gives his version of the names for the stages from what he sees and wants to call them. So the first one that we have up is the Market, and this one is seen in the Cyrax trailer. We also have the Maze, which has been seen multiple times throughout the various trailers between Cyrax, even the intro dialogue match, pre-match clips, and the ones we've got so far. Then we have Havoc's Coliseum. That one is as seen behind Cyrax in the promotional material. I have that showing right there for you. And then he has one that he doesn't really have a name for it yet, but he does say, I don't know what to call this one. We saw this one with Quan Chi a while back. I think this one will top, middle, bottom like the pyramid, or have day-night type variants, as you can see in the pictures. But it's again more of a Chaos Realm type stage that we're getting. So that's one more that we can possibly expect to see. So those are the new stages that we're going to probably get in the Chaos Reigns expansion pack. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about those? Something else that we got, which has got a lot of conversation online, was new moves that were revealed. Quite a few bit of information there. So starting off with Sektor, because this is her show, right? We have we got a glimpse of Sektor's brutality. It was showcased against Tanya. And once initiated, Sektor basically turns on her suit thrusters, flies through Tanya, basically destroying her body, cutting her head off in the process. And then once her head is within range, she basically finishes the job and thrusts through that as well, destroying it in the process. So it's just a bunch of blood and guts all over the floor. So pretty cool there. Of course, that is a brutal move. The second part of what was revealed for Sektor was her animality. So at the end of the trailer, we saw that she transforms into a rhino that rampages toward, I believe it was Ermac, impaling him with her horn, and then basically continues to drag him and then drag him into the ground. So pretty gruesome, pretty intense, but so we know that Sektor turns into a rhino. Pretty cool. I think that's a very, I can get on board with that, you know, after just seeing the brutality where she used a lot of her thrusters to kind of propel her forward or through people. That seems pretty fitting that she's a rhino as far as an animality. Let me know your thoughts below about that. Moving on to other characters that got new moves, we have Havoc. He received a new buff where I'm pretty sure this is the move. He tears out his tongue and bleeds all over you. That's what we already got before, but the part that's different is a long glowing apparatus, or his tongue comes out, a glowing tongue whip is what I'm calling it, comes out and attaches it to your face as it does against Liu Kang. And as you're trying to escape, he uses some chaos energy that he kind of propels forward through. You can kind of see this kind of glowing energy kind of go through it, and it gets to you and compels you, and it makes you twist your neck and kills you. At least that's what I interpreted from from the clip I'm showing you right now. You can give me your thoughts down below, or if you know what it's called, or if this is something that we've already seen, let me know below, but I believe this is the buff that we're talking about. So that's something that we got for Havoc. Then we have Sub-Zero. He received a new buff where you can freeze basically the main player. So he's obviously the cameo. You can freeze your main player, and then Sub-Zero will throw that against your opponent, which I find really interesting. I think at the thing he said this is a Mortal Kombat X type move, but that's very interesting that's going on. I think it's kind of cool, kind of different. A way to kind of have the cameo be the kind of main player in a sense. So then we have Jax, who got a new buff where he will stop your opponent's cameo by grabbing them from their neck and then punching them repeatedly until he throws them back onto the ground. That's something I would totally expect from Jax, and you know, why not? The buck stops here, it stops with Jax. So that's a new move that he got. And then finally I have on here for Tanya, she got new buffs, which included Divine Protection that can parry projectiles without amplifying, and another one where you can use Ungati Dodge after regular drill kick. And I believe I'm showing those right now with a screenshot. And I think that's from, hopefully I'm saying his name right, user or Macabre. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, but that's from that user that kind of pointed that out. So those are all the new moves that we got from the trailer or from the Kombat Kast. Right, moving on to the next item, because there's a lot of good stuff from this trailer, guys. A lot of good information, a lot of good tidbits, Easter eggs. So next up is skins. New skins. So Ermac will be getting the Season 4 Chaos Palette, along, to kind of echo some of the chaos, some of the various characters such as like Katana, Quan Chi, maybe possibly Shang Tsung, as at the thing he's thinking. We'll also get new chaos skin variations. So we have that to look forward to. And then we have Empress Melina. Melina will get her Empress skin, which makes her look very matronly, very royal and regal. So that's something else to kind of look forward to as well. So those are some new skins that we can look forward to. And again, I've been seeing some people online, with the chaos stuff, it kind of brings in more the multiverse, all these different realms of characters. So with a lot of those skins are going to happen, like the World War, Johnny and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of them I'm okay with, and even like the chaos variations of characters, they're different. They're interesting. So I'm cool with all that. All right, next up, I've got Cameo Ease of Use. Now, the way this came up is the word casual was actually appearing in the character select screen above Sub-Zero and Frost's names as they were cameos. And at first it was thought to maybe imply that they were cameo variations, like we're going to get different variations of cameos, which would be cool, right? So if I had Frost and this is the MK1 versus MKX variation, or different themes and skins or stuff like that. But after Ice Cream actually tagged Stephanie Brown back for clarification, she actually replied back to his tweet that the character select screen now has ease of use ratings to aid newer or more casual players like myself right now, who may want to have some quick information about the cameo before they choose that character. So, for example, she says, Frost has basically pressed the cameo button and she pops out and does cool stuff, whereas Janet is more complex and may require more input on your part as far as being able to do certain moves. So I think that's actually a good thing to do. I think, there's sometimes where if you're not very well versed in playing the Mortal Kombat game, if you just want to pick up a quick match and you don't want to have to work so hard, it's kind of cool that they kind of make it easy for you to know, hey, if you pick this player, you're going to be able to play and be kind of done with it. So I think that's kind of cool. All right, so next up, I want to talk about something that a lot of people pointed out and I find very interesting. And if this is the approach that they're going, I feel like it's maybe poking fun at this thing, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. But a lot of people highlighted that there's a lot of comparisons and coincidences of moves, settings, etc., characters, how they're skinned, to stuff that happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel movies. So both Marvel Kombat Addict and Ice Cream, they kind of put some tweets together that kind of went through this. But I've seen a lot of people on Twitter do this. But first up, we have World War Johnny Cage looking like Chris Evans as Captain America, almost dead ringer. We have Bihan jumping after Havoc through the portal, very much like Deadpool and Wolverine jumped through the portal in the recent Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Then we have a bunch of Havocs amongst themselves, cheering and being rowdy, and a lot of Chaos characters with them, and it's very much reminiscent of how Jonathan Majors Kang and the various Kangs we saw in the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. We have Cyrax that does a kick, spin, and a landing, and it's very parallel to Sam Wilson's Falcon. So it's very cool with that. And I'm showing the clip right now as I'm talking, so you can kind of see those. And then the one that a lot of people got talking about was Sektor herself. She has 2 Iron Man references, and the first one is going to be where she's dragging, and the fatality move. She basically takes Ermac into space, very much like Ironmonger did to Iron Man in Iron Man 1. And then the second part is we have in-helmet view of Sektor looking at the digital screen and stats, very much like Tony Stark does within the Iron Man suit. And I believe the one in the clip is looking at Iron Man 1. Interestingly enough, that comes up in a cameo combo move that she does against Katana in another clip. And it seems to be, I guess, supposedly the first of its kind where she interacts with something or someone before performing the move. So, at least that's what people are saying online. In the move, she initiates something in her digital view with her, whatever, I don't know if it's Jarvis, but whatever she wants to call it, before she initiates a energy beam that comes down against Katana. and then Movado steps in and does his like suspend and propel forward heel kick stomp, and then Sektor continues on by thrusting forward towards her, picking up Katana, and then giving her multiple punches midair. So very, very cool. I think it's kind of nice. I think it's just cool that they're able to replicate all that just with Mortal Kombat characters, and a lot of people notice. So maybe it's a, you know, kudos and shout out to Kevin Feige and Disney Company, but or it's like poking fun at them. Not really sure. Other than that, the only thing that we have on there is that it got a lot of people talking was we got to see what Sektor would look like without her helmet, guys. She has hair. She has hair. She has like a short bob kind of cut, you know, thing going on. So yeah, so now we know what she looks like under the helmet. A lot of y'all were interested to know what Cyrax would look like under her helmet. But I don't know. It's just, I mean, I guess it's interesting. If you were to skin the characters, I guess all of this data set up for the characters allows you to see what she would look like. So now the mystery has been solved. So yeah, so that's all of the reveals and Easter eggs that I was able to kind of pull together for you that you might have missed from the full gameplay trailer, from any of the past trailers leading up to this, or from the Kombat Kast. So let me know below your thoughts on all the Sektor goodies. We obviously know that Noob Saibot would be next. Hopefully from there we'll get some of the guest character info. It may take a little longer, maybe even after the stuff, just after the expansion pack gets launched. But nonetheless, let me know what you think about all the goodies that I've shared for you today for discussion. And does it get you more excited for Sektor's approach to the expansion pack? That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want more of this, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.